Oh yes, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be good. I just gotta think for a second. Need 30 seconds to think. Think of the solution. I just thought of something that would work very well. It will work super good because I know it will. It involves this wonderful clothespin I found on the... What is this even called? There's a name for this item and I don't know what it is. I have no idea. I just know it's used in a lot of useful items. You can do a lot of things with a lot of stuff. You just don't realize it. It's a interesting fact. Okay, I might be stupid. This is not the correct size for what I'm trying to make it do, but potentially it has the potential to do so. I mean, it's not that difficult to do something. Today we're going to work on some nuclear reactors in Minecraft. Super common statement that makes a lot of sense. Disneyland. What was I doing last time? Oh, I have this gigantic jug of water. We'll make history. It stores copious volumes of water. So we left off, we had just obtained uranium-233 for a nuclear reactor. Super good stuff. We'd built the the Church of Reactors. It's stupid. It's okay though. Take little sips. It's water. Water can't hurt you. It's made of hydrogen and oxygen. Except what if I told you I can make water hurt you? I know how to do it. Using just water? I mean, I could think of a few ways that would work. You either would do water poisoning or just drown somebody. So either physics or chemistry to do it. Biochemistry. But if we want to get creative with water, what you could really do is if you somehow manage to have electricity and you add it to water, you can do some interesting stuff. Separate the oxygen and hydrogen. Or, if that's not your fancy and you have salt, you can make chlorine, which is wonderful. Spent a long time trying to make that at one point in my life. It was super interesting. It was like a couple months of just, oh, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. Well, let's try this because I want to see what this does. Nothing happened. And in the long run, it was just a waste of time. It was just a waste of time. Time well wasted, though, I would say. It gave me a lot of experience with stuff I need to... Chemistry. Chemistry is awesome. I watched this video of a guy, he was reviewing a Kalashnikov from, what is it called? It's like an SKS Kalashnikov hybrid from Yugoslav. So that was interesting. Yugoslavian weaponry right there. At this time, we will proceed to construct what we need to construct and do the things we need to do. I can't actually focus, which means the first step of obtaining focus, right? Because focusing is super difficult for me. The first step is always super simple. Go do some building, okay? Let's focus on something simple. We need bricks. I need to get flip-flops because the floor texture is abhorrent. and I'm not wearing socks. It's okay, I have wheels. Wheels are the future. You know, I could be doing something I need to do right now, which is something. I don't remember what I was trying to do, honestly. But it doesn't matter, okay? Because I will just put it off until I go to bed. Because, see, the thing is that what happens is I go to bed at 4, and then I wake up at 8, and it's Monday and a half. Thankfully, it's 6:30, so the odds of it being Monday and a half are off the table. However, that means instead of it being Monday and a half, it could be Tuesday double. AKA, I go to sleep for 4 hours, and then I can't get back to sleep, and I'm up all of Tuesday as well. And that would be an absolutely hellish experience, so I don't really want that now, do I? I want to achieve maximum fatigue, so that way I can pass out, stay asleep, and not have to worry. Because that's the smart way of doing things to get my sleeping back to where it needs to be until the weekend, when I can be like, okay, it's time to say Saturday and a half, Sunday and a half. We must recreate that. That is perfect. But only for weekends, because it won't work during a work week. You see, the second I try that during a work week, it's going to probably end very terribly. So I'm not going to attempt to make Sunday and a half in a work week. That's pretty stupid. And if I did that, got a feeling it wouldn't end so good. So I'm going to avoid that. It's pretty common sense. It's something that not a lot of people have. Common sense is a useful skill that can be obtained by just thinking about the fact that if you do something, it has consequences. You just gotta use your brain. It's something I didn't do in life, but that's why I always advocate for people to use their brains. I like to ask people, what are people thinking? Because it's a good question to ask somebody, is like, what are they thinking? You can find out a lot that way. What am I doing with this? What are we doing with that? Why did we build that last night? What stupidity. I mean, it's honestly, it's kind of funny. It fits the build. It fits the stupidness of what I'm building. Is it stupid though? Because it doesn't look stupid to me. It looks like a perfectly valid build. Except for that. That doesn't need to be there. That's kind of... Maybe if this was not like so visible, it'd be okay. But that does not need to be in this build. Sunday and a half, it's a good day. But I don't want Monday and a half, and I certainly don't want Tuesday double. Certainly don't want Tuesday double. That would be awful. We could just destroy it. It doesn't look super good. I mean, what did I expect it like that? It would, of course it doesn't look good. It looks ugly. It does not fit in the build at all. Just for a stupid joke. Just for a stupid joke. This is some very serious gaming. We need not jokes. We need to make nuclear physics happen. And we need that now. We need to do that. Okay, well, if you all haven't been following, basically what's going on is that this thing does the Purex process where it takes kerosene, or aka petrochemical solvent, nitric acid, and then does magic to make it into nuclear byproducts or decay products, which I can then use to create fuels, aka plutonium fuel billets. This in turn allows me to make the next stage of the process, which is going to be going from billets of that to actually assembling, like putting it in my nuclear reactor, inserting the rods. But that will be a little while. That will be a little bit of energy for me to introduce into this. Potentially moving this thing, but as we discussed at the end of the last stream on Sunday and a half, raw uranium storage needs to be set up over there. The auto deprocessing only need one Purex to process it. This is called the Purex, even though that's actually just the name for the paper and not necessarily the machine. The machine is actually made of multiple different pieces, and it's like Legos, okay? Like, you can think of a factory or like any machine as just a bunch of pieces, and it all goes together to create whatever the heck you want it to do. For example, in oil refining, you have like the same machine that's reused 5 billion times. It's called a distillation or fractioning setup. But that is basically just a distillation setup for two byproducts or two outputs. You know what I mean? You see, a distillation tower is just that on a larger scale. That's the first step of oil processing in the real world, is the first tower, which can be, there's a lot of things you can do with stuff in reality. Like, you can say, oh, well, I want this to be vacuum, whatever the heck. We'll do a vacuum on this one or something like that. Because that will, with a vacuum, you actually decrease the amount of energy it takes, if I remember correctly, to heat up the oil inside. Or, no, that's not right. Well, it kind of is right, but what it really is that it allows you to lower the boiling point of the oil. So if you're trying to like get straight to certain byproducts, or like you can't heat it up too much, that's when a vacuum comes in handy. Just changing the atmosphere allows you to increase or decrease pressure. Increasing pressure makes things colder, but decreasing it makes things warmer because it separates the particles, like the little, like if you imagine a block as like a bunch of little particles that are bouncing around, right? This, we'll say this is my regular like solid, or no, this is a liquid. Let's say this is a liquid right here. Now if I take the pressure, this dirt representing the pressure, and I say, okay, the pressure is now reduced. All of those will now be much more separate, which essentially means that the cohesion of the substance, the state of matter it is in, has changed, or could potentially change by doing so if a certain threshold is met. In other words, it's basically magic. But that's reality. Any science is most of the time either construed as magic, or like people just don't understand it, or maybe they're just scared of it. It's funny to me that people could be scared of something super powerful, but at the same time it makes a lot of sense. It's historic. But a good example of that, what I just discussed, would be this Zernox reactor, which is in the HBM mod is a gas-cooled reactor. Basically, that means it uses gas as the coolant. If that doesn't make sense though, because it has water as the coolant. It uses gas for something. I don't know, but it somehow it uses gas in there to increase and decrease the pressure. changing the amount of water that we turn into steam. Changing the effectiveness of it. Because a higher pressure means that, well, it's going to be a higher temperature and it's going to run a little bit more proficiently. A lot of stuff to talk about with nuclear physics. But yes, gas-cooled reactors are technically a real thing, but I don't think people use them outside of like a research environment. I'm not too sure on that one. And honestly, I haven't really gotten into reading science papers in a while, so I used to do a lot of that. That used to be a hobby of mine to just... See, I in school, what I would do is instead of actually doing my work, I would do my work in 5 minutes, which is technically still doing my work. So those words didn't make sense, but... So I would do my work in 5 minutes, but I don't consider that doing my work because it didn't take me the same amount of time. That also doesn't make sense. Basically, I'm too smart, okay? And then I would go do my work. I'd finish my work in 5 minutes. I'd be done. And I'd go, and then I would go on Google and go to scihub.com or .ru and literally just download every single science paper, whatever it may be, because that was enjoyable. Super good stuff to read. It's very dry though. A lot of literature like that is very dry to read. It's not the best stuff to read. Anything that relates to a job tends to be the worst stuff to read. If you're trying to read something for a hobby, I mean, it's interesting and it gives you a lot of knowledge. Like, I can recall everything to some degree that I read, everything that I learn. Like, one of my favorite ones was, what was it? High performance polymers. It was pretty much just almost like a book on things like nylon 6,6, nylon, I think there was 5,6, polyamides and things like that. Stuff that's useful in various applications. But the big ones were like polybenzimidazole. Stuff like, this is in Greg Tech, polybenzimidazole. It's a huge word. But it's used in firefighting equipment. Polybenzimidazole, super awesome. Polytetrafluoroethylene. And then I read one about fluoropolymers. It was called Fluoropolymers Organic. So that basically means actually polyvinylidene was in the PVC one. Polyvinylidene chloride. I think there might have been polyvinylidene fluoride. I think those are more like rubbers. It's like a vinylidene. Sounds like a rubber to me, like some kind of rubber, like vinyl gloves. Or like maybe a vinyl disc, but that's completely different from vinyl gloves. It's kind of interesting what that might look like. I have never seen polyvinylidene. I will never know what it looks like. I don't know. A lot of electrolysis papers to you. Because one of the things I was working on was a lot of electrolysis stuff. But come to find out nowadays that it's literally possible to do what I was trying to do using just a car battery. Because back then, what I was trying to do was make sodium chlorate for some very, very interesting purposes to be discussed somewhere else. Actually, I've talked about before. I was trying to build a rocket, pretty much. Build a rocket and launch it across the trailer park. A very bad idea. But that was what I was trying to do. Super, super awesome in my head. But like it falls into bad decision making. Bad decision making right there. Gotta learn how to think before I do something stupid. Which comes in handy because now I know that I will not do anything stupid because I think before I do stupid things. Obviously, though, with that necessarily, it's not necessarily entirely stupid. Because even if it had, like, actually launched, or if it had just exploded in my face, I probably wouldn't... Nothing would have happened, probably, if I'm being honest. There's no way of knowing where a rocket comes from if it just falls from the sky. Like, if it took off well enough and it flew through the air, which should probably be like, what is the 3-letter agency for like air control or whatever the heck they are? The people who care about things that fly into the sky, they would probably freak out. They just get a little blip on their radar. Watch out, there's a little metal rocket made of a soda can full of sodium chlorate taking off to the stars. Nowadays, I just collect a lot of magnesium. Because eventually I'll be like, well, what can I do? What do I want to do today? I'll be at home and like on leave or something. And I'll be like, what am I going to do today? Oh, well, I have all this magnesium I've saved up. And then I'll just decide to be like, well, let's go ahead and make something interesting with magnesium. I don't even know what I can make with magnesium at this time. All I know is that one of the things I theorized was that I could potentially use it to create enough pressure to create some kind of mortar. Or something that explodes, obviously. That's like the basics. Take magnesium, put it into plastic bottle. Put water into plastic bottle. This will create pressure from the hydrogen gas released. Then, wrap the plastic bottle in nails. Boom. There you go. You now have the world's worst hand grenade. Problem solvified. Engineering. That's the engineering that I would get. This super dangerous, super bad idea engineering. Right there. But that's what I was into, so that's just kind of the things I got up to. I'd be like, well, let's see. Today I want to make water purification. I get that it's freezing outside, but you know, I gotta collect 55 gallons of snow into 2 drums so we can get started. It's a lot of effort to move that, you know. That was one of my projects. Moved all of the gallons of snow, tons of snow, and yeah, started working on a very interesting project to build water purification plants in my backyard. Sounds super dumb, but the reasoning behind it was so I can make better products. Because first of all, if I couldn't remove iodine from salt yet, I couldn't figure that part out. Was removing iodine from the salt, because salt comes iodized usually. So if you're wanting to try to make sodium hydroxide or chlorine gas or something fun like that, or sodium chloride even, you have to remove iodine because it will interfere with that. You might end up making iodate, stuff like that. Sodium iodide stuff that you don't want when you're trying to make pure sodium chlorate. What you need to mix with your sugar, powdered sugar, because it's sucrose is powdered sugar, and there's a difference between powdered and granulated sugar as far as I'm aware. I don't know if that's actually correct. But as far as I've read, there is a difference between a powdered sugar and a granulated sugar. And that's the difference between the sucrose and the other thing. There's also sugars in milk. Galactose, lactose. I think galactose makes up lactose. Lactose is a sugar, technically. That's a lot of information that I don't really care about sugars in milk. It's like the least important chemistry, other than that you can electrolyze it, kind of. Okay, that was a huge thing because I primarily did electrolysis when I was doing my chemistry in my backyard. And one of my experiments, actually, that was the one where I was trying to make sodium chlorate. It lasted for like 3 days. And then I had to bring it inside because I didn't want the rain to damage my hard work. And I also had to distill it. Distillation, super important part of that process. And then I ended up with just bleachy smelling substance that wasn't necessarily what I was after, but could have been. It had the right smell. So I know I had made at least something that I was looking for, but I just didn't really give it enough time. Or was it that I didn't actually... Could have been something else, like I just messed it up. Which a lot of my experiments ended up being messed up because of just starting out from poor materials or like stuff like that. Like now, I could say with confidence that I could, if I were to do them again, I could probably make them actually work. But I won't do that because it's completely stupid and falls into stupid decision making. Making dumb decisions. Because you have to think before you do most things. Safety first. Well, it's not even safety. It's just not doing something stupid. That's what it comes down to. It'd be stupid for me to do it now, where I'm currently at. But if I was at my house, maybe not. It'd be a little different. It'd be like, oh yeah, today we're gonna make sodium chlorate actually this time. Sodium aluminate today. That is our goal. We will create so much of this useless substance I don't even need. That was actually my first one. I made it in a soda can. My first attempt at electrolysis was electrolyzing salt water in a soda can. And it melted the soda can somewhat. It like degrades the metal to try to make sodium hydroxide. Like in that environment, it does not work out too well. So like, that is why you cannot use aluminum for a vessel to do that in. At least not what the aluminum I was trying to use. Plus that was probably very dirty aluminum. But aluminum has its usages in other aspects. Just building, starting off with the building, okay? Because the building comes first. See, if I do building first and then ask questions later, I will be able to get more done this way because it helps me focus. And I need to focus because if I don't focus, I will fall asleep or something else. And my goal is to go to bed at a reasonable time tonight. AKA 01 in the morning, probably. Because I know what's going to happen is that I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to go do something. I don't know what it will be. I will finish what I'm working on. And then next thing you know, I'll try to sleep. Won't be able to sleep. No, that's not going to happen. That's only a Monday and a half. We're avoiding Monday and a half right now. We're far from Monday and a half. I think Monday and a half could have happened, but it's thankfully we've evaded it, so thank Jesus himself. It is impossible for Monday and a half to happen today. Artificial days. 370 days in a year. Holy crap. What would we do? Suffering. Monday and a half, Sunday and a half. It only works on weekends. That's the only reason it works. It's on weekends. It's the only reason it's valuable to be able to know how to make Sunday and a half happen. It all revolves around one step. Going to bed at 4 p.m. and waking up at 8. That's all you have to do. It's the first step. The second step is then when you wake up at 8, you can no longer sleep. So then proceed to go do something else so you're actually getting value with your time. And then you've created a day and a half. That is my method of making artificial days. And it works well on weekends because it takes a 2-day and makes it into 4 days. And it's not even intentional. It just kind of happens. It just kind of happens. Like, I'm so tired right now. Like, I could definitely go to sleep if I closed my eyes hard enough. No, not even hard at all. I just have to close my eyes and I'd probably pass out. This is good enough for today. Enough for roof building. You see, with roof building, we are creating good progress. We just have to begin with the next step, which is primarily just looking in here and being like, what do I need to do with my nuclear power plant? I need to do some stuff. Some very easy stuff. Kerosene production, namely. How much uranium do we have? 2. Oh, 15 uranium. Good, good, good. Is this guy turned on? He is on. Hey, look, it looks like he restocked his nuclear fuel. Ooh. Impressive. The engineering is real. You see, this was going to be very over-engineered back in the day. Thankfully, we have realized that there's no point in over-engineering something like this. It's simple enough. And I can walk you through how I came up with the most simplest way of doing it. And what was the most complex part of this. Literally just separating out these Zernox rods is the hardest part of figuring out how I'm going to keep the same number of rods in the reactor. To do it, just separate them out at the start, okay? I was going to try counting systems and all kinds of weird stuff, but it really comes down to the problem solving of if we want to have the same amount, we will always have one of these for every craft. So, essentially, instead of needing to scan for it and be like, oh, well, we need to scan for this, but we have 2 chunks, we don't need to scan for it. We can just output it back into the line. There's no need to do scanners. There's no need to try counters where you count, oh, we have 1 here and 1 here. No. None of that is even theoretically possible for that. But I will admit, it is very tempting to try building stuff like that. And very distracting from the actual answer, which usually is just, well, you can see, it's just do a conveyor belt that does it and separates it. That's the simplest approach. Now, we need to, hello. We need to actually do some work on the power grid to get these, my favorite type of rod, plutonium rods. Well, actually, I like plutonium-239 the best because of its usages in nuclear weapons, so that will be not discussed at this time. Boom. There we go. As you can see, I'm now assembling quite a large quantity of that, which is great. That is good. We will then total the amount we have currently available for production of Zernox rods, if that is even possible at this time. We have 17 total, which means I could put all 8 of these in there and it will do the job. Now with this, you need a hazmat suit, because if you don't have the hazmat suit, you will just die. As you can see, it's a lot of radiation. Do it one at a time. This is actually pretty low radiation to consider that it's using plutonium in there. Plutonium typically tends to be a higher radiation level than the other stuff, so Da-da, da-da. There goes my wonderful fuel rods going to go do their stuff. Beautiful. This is what it's all about, is automating my nuclear power plant so I can... Basically, if you're wondering what this actually is this guy takes raw uranium, natural uranium. He takes raw thorium, natural thorium, from the ground. So if I just go process that at my ore processing, I can be like, well, I have this, and I kind of need to make all of these fuels. So then I can come over to here and do the stuff here to break it down, right? After it's depleted in the reactor, after it undergoes transmutation and all of that in the reactor. We then have all of these depleted rods, which are ready to go, and then can be cooled down and processed in Purex, aka the Purex process, which I will admit costs a little bit of kerosene, but in the end it pays out because that's nuclear fuel, and that gets us closer to powering pretty much everything with nuclear power. Because this bypasses the gas centrifuges, albeit the gas centrifuge would be give you more value, because the gas centrifuge is pretty good. Like you have 6 of these, you're good. But I don't have 6 of these. I'm not at this stage of the game, so I've bypassed doing that by building this, which allows me to do the exact same thing, just at a very lesser extent, much more primitively, but also at the same time does give me some different products from what that would give me. So that's the value of a Zernox reactor opposed to the gas centrifuges. And also the benefit is that we're producing 233, which is pretty much a Zernox exclusive. You can get 233 through like other fuel processing, but it's really easy to get it through the Zernox reactor. You can also get it from these, but I mean, you're not going to have that necessarily. 233 is, actually, here we go. This will actually show you where you get it from. Ooh, that does it? Whoa. Wait a second. Okay, so that's going to be more of a PWR thing. We'll take a look at that in a second. So with the PWR, that's a multi-block machine. It will be a much more difficult thing to build than the Zernox, but Zernox does the job as far as I say. This as far as this is good. I believe the Silex can also do the zirconium. No. Well, it's good to know. Good information to have. Very valuable information. But yeah, you can only do thorium to this in here. It's only your only way of getting uranium-233, which actually I'm pretty sure used to have a different color than this. I don't remember it being yellow. Or you could get it from the ground, apparently. A bedrock ore fragment. Actinide. Washed, cleaned from Mars, apparently. Ooh. Ooh, it's time to turn it on. This is kind of concerning because it has, well, if you look at this, 65 heat per tick, 100 heat per tick. Oh, well, those are a lot dangerous. It's actually the most dangerous besides terbidium, which is, of course, a made-up element, so. Of course, that would be dangerous. But this is also going to produce the most power. Temperature, 420 Celsius. We were going to have power until our reactor got high. That's what happened. It melted down. It's the weed number. It's crazy. It's okay. What we need to work on, as far as this goes, should just be man, I can't even think. I can't even hear my own thoughts. Can't even hear my own thoughts right now. It's too hard to think. Too hard to concentrate on the task at hand. No. There's no answer. There's no answers. I have no answers. Oh, right. I know what to do. So you see, just wasting power, like, idly is kind of stupid. But throwing your power at producing materials, that is quite valuable, isn't it? That is what we're going to get into with this, I guess, is going to probably be, let's just start churning out materials. What can we make materials out of? What is the best thing we can do right now material-wise? What's going to get me the farthest in the long run? Probably, I would say this. Maybe do a stack of gold. Do some titanium. I mean, we can get titanium from bauxite. You see, this is the thing with bauxite now. It makes it, like, questionable as to whether it's actually something I need to start, like... Do I really need to start, like, processing titanium now? Like, what? I can just do it all with bauxite. It's giving me so much titanium. That's the problem with making it give you so much of this stuff. Because now I have no need to go like, well, I kind of need titanium. I kind of need this. I kind of need that. There's no point in even bothering with that. It's useless. It's kind of disappointing that we have created bauxite to the point where, well, now it pretty much supplements all of my ore processing in one single step. That is very, very not good, I would say. But what is good is that it gives you more materials now. Super, super good. I'd say it's a positive that it gives you more materials. Ooh. Natural gas. We're gonna run natural gas through this real quick, and then we'll just start setting up these guys with oil. We need a lot of oil. No plans on upgrading to a pump jack. Fracking tower. Basically, I want an infinite quantity, but I don't have that right now. We actually can do it. I could do it. I could definitely do it right now. So what's holding me back from doing it? Nothing. Nothing is. We should go work on the fracking tower. Honestly, I want to get technetium first, if that is possible. I mean, it is possible considering we just obtained nuclear power. And that's the big thing I haven't mentioned, is that it's to get us technetium. I've mentioned it in previous streams, but... Huge thing is with the nuclear program was to get technetium, because it allows me to get the next thing, which I can need to use something to make the next thing. So, it is a step after step. Step-by-step progress towards whatever I'm actually working towards. How much of the uranium-233 do we have? Okay, turn on the reactors. Both of them. Need more energy. Ooh, this one's actually out of thorium. So when it shuts off this time, it's time to shut down the power plant. So. All right. 50% recycled polyethylene plastic. Very interesting. I like that labeling. It really sells me that this bottle is made with less gasoline. Well, it's not actually gasoline, by the way. It's super. It's just petrochemicals. Okay, it's the simplest answer. Polyethylene. I mean, it's not. You can get that from like wheat. You can literally make that from wheat, probably. Do some chemistry. Now, if it was a PVC water bottle, PVC, from what I read in what was it called? What was even the paper called? Yeah, he got no plans on upgrading the armor as well either. I've never said that. That's honestly good that you mentioned that because I completely forgot we're trying to get to HEV. That was one of the things I wanted was HEV. We could start on HEV. All right, the reason we need that is for Saturnite. We need technetium for Saturnite. It's not impossible for me to make HEV at this time. It is a bit of work, though. But I'm ready for it. I got this. I can do this easy. How many does it need? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 4. So 8 plus 4 is 12 plus 3. 15 total. If I did the math. Yes, I did. So we need to make 15 of these titanium plates. I'm an HEV enjoyer. Don't try to sell me on the other armor, okay? If you do that, it will not end good. We will just stop the stream. There will be no more streams for the next 60 years. Unless that's what you wanted. And then you will have won. So then, basically, now that with the numbers we have 15. It's pretty much just as simple as counting out 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, blah, 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 30. I don't even need to count. Okay, it's you can just visualize the numbers. You can see them go up. It's just brain damage to count at this point. I don't know why I'm spending my time on counting when I could be spending it elsewhere. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Wait, it's on the on here, right? Plate. Scroll all the way to the ends. Here we go. Titanium armor plates. HEV for Gordon Freeman. Oh, I think I may need a bit more. I may need a few more. It's not the watch reactor though, so it's okay. Titanium armor plate. Perfect. Shift. We have 15. The next stage of making this plating is to get tungsten wire and advanced alloy. Considering we have 15, 15 times 4 is what number? 60. And to get to 60 is quite easy. We already have it. Already have 60. Beautiful. Quite wonderful indeed. Let's go ahead and do a triple check on these guys. Make sure they're doing the right thing. Double check and triple check. Make sure they're doing the lead and whatever the heck production. We will need to do redstone and copper in the blast furnace for the other thing. How is this doing? How much have you processed? You haven't processed any of it, have you? I'm waiting for this thing to process so much of it. Well, with iron, we could make iron piping, and we could just pipe the oil straight to my kerosene setup, or to my rubber setup, whatever I need. But it doesn't make sense because I use it for both. It doesn't make sense to do one over the other. That'd be really stupid of me to do, honestly. So we're not going to do one over the other. We're going to just say that no matter what, we're going to just not do that. We're just going to do it by hand, okay? So I can choose. The freedom to choose where the oil goes is what matters, not putting the oil into one over the other. But unfortunately, what really is bad is that we are actually out of the stuff we need iron for steel. This is very limiting now. It used to be back in the day, I could produce 80,000 pieces of steel in like 5 hours. Now we're stuck at the point where to produce steel, it will require great efforts, which is very sad. Not sure what I'm doing at this time. I don't know where "at this time" came from in my vocabulary, but I like it a lot and I like the way it sounds. So it will be consistently used for the next 5 billion years. It sounds like superficial, like, alright, I know where it came from. That's very interesting. Good memories. Perfect. Why am I waiting on my stuff to do stuff? Why am I waiting when I could just make 10,000 blast furnaces that run on the plutonium fuels? Because plutonium fuels will suck for an RTG. Stating the facts. And the obvious ones too. We are gonna do very well producing this. It will take no time at all. I'll probably reduce the amount we're actually having in there because it's kind of dumb to process all of our steel, which is something we don't have the capabilities to continue producing in large quantities like we used to. We used to just be able to drill it out of the ground, but now it's been replaced with a system that's okay, but not the same. Which is for obvious reasons, because back in the day, if you could just pump iron ore out of the ground essentially, and not even spend more than like 5 energies on it, whatever that may be, well, that was just a little bit overpowered now, wasn't it? It was the past. That's why it's not the future, not current. But 60 should do the job, and we don't need more than 60, probably. So let's go ahead and make 60 plates. Boom. And tungsten is something that you never cannot have because it's just so common. But if you don't have it, then you just haven't found a spaceship. So if you need tungsten, find a spaceship. That's not That's easy. That's not hard said. It's not hard done. Okay, it's just done. It is what it is. There's no more to it than that. HEV. What is it called? Advanced? Reactive armor. What is this? Explosive reactive armor? What? Some futurized technology here. We're slapping, like, what? Contact 2M armor on our hazmat suit. It's guaranteed to stop everything from 150 millimeter round to a 9 millimeter round. Without a shadow of a doubt. Because we put this label on it. FDA approved. FDA approved. Comedian here. Making comedy. Look. I have boots that are super good now. What were you saying earlier about, oh yeah, he's not going to upgrade his armor. He's not going to upgrade his armor. Because guess who has upgraded his armor now? This guy. But at the same time, I'm far from done. Far from done with my armor. No plans on upgrading the armor. I just forgot about them. But it's good that you reminded me. Because I would have continued to forget about them. I will be honest about that. That is a fact. I wouldn't have remembered. Because we're too busy with Chernobyl. Or actually, not even Chernobyl. It's Chernobyl? Zirconium oxide reactor Chernobyl? It's hopefully never going to melt down. Hopefully. Odds are 1 in 5 trillion that it melts down without me doing something stupid. AKA, something would really bad have to happen for this to melt down. Thankfully, that should never come to fruition. And if you organize these correctly, you can actually maximize the effectiveness of them. As I'm doing right here. In fact, if I do this, that would actually be even better. Now they are all sharing a grid, which means that they will all be speeding up the production of heat as well. 468 from the 420 we had earlier. Quite impressive improvements. Turn it off. Well, actually, we will need both. The thing with this is that we're going to have to start out on a output. I have conveyors. I have steel. Those are the two things I need for the output other than these pneumatic pistons. This will start on an outputting hatch, or basically conveyor ejectors. This is the first step, because from there, it's all about just putting it into a crafter that crafts it down into the specific components. We have a few ways of doing this. I think it's going to be rather challenging to not have a sorter. But we do have those grabbers we made with the previous stupidity. I'm going to need quite a few motors today. Can I make motors cheaper? It would be the future if I could do that. Shape crafting. Anvil. Anvil's okay. I can do it with one steel plate. It's just one iron from what I would normally do. We will stick with what we usually do since it makes the most sense. And then I also don't really care how many of these we make. We just need to make plenty of coils. Enough coils to supply the entire world for 2 minutes. Type in coil, and this is my favorite part. This is the part where I actually make something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's as far as you can split it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 extra motors. It's enough motors to keep us supplied for our lifetime. And allow us to continue operations for 65 billion years. That's pretty good. And fairly reasonable, I would say. A sustainable goal. We need to do the titanium. I don't want to do the titanium. No! That's so stupid. What the heck am I doing? Wait, this is our... Thank you. Somebody already made it for me. It's almost as if I had the foresight, which I didn't, actually. We never intended for that to exist. Somehow it existed. It didn't choose to. It was made to. Each of these costs 2 dash. And then some gold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, there's so much on my mind. I hate my mind sometimes. It's just annoying. It's just annoying what I'm thinking about right now. I don't know why it's annoying. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's just annoying that I don't even know, man. It's annoying. Okay, but we'll take all of these gold coils, and then I'm going to go ahead and make it all into the stuff we need. This is all that matters at this time. Nothing else will matter until it actually happens. So when it happens, it happens. Until then, it doesn't matter because it's not real. Okay? It's not real until it happens. That's what matters. That's what matters, okay? That's what truly matters. Okay, and then also, we've pretty much finished. You know what we can do from here? We can go into the future with this technology right here. We can go into the future with this technology. We can become superhumans at this point. Was this the one with 3? And then it has 2 motors in the top. Finally, we have this one. Which could be simple, but also is probably not that easy. The answers are very simple. They're hiding in plain sight inside of this thing. The integrated circuit board. And like I said, this is so easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's the answers to all questions. It's too easy. Ah! I did it. We now have better armor than you all said I would have. We have constructed the armor of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce HEV armor. I have become the Freeman, Gordon Freeman. Oh. I just need a crowbar first, though. But we're not far from that. We can do that in 6 episodes, probably. If we were to play GTH. And get the crowbar there first. Oh, does this not have power? Oh, it doesn't have power. Oh, that's fine. It's okay. Attack. Attack your problems. That's all you need to know. Because it doesn't have power, I will just go ahead and construct the power myself. Ooh. Ah. You know, we need NVGs. We need night vision goggles. Does the night vision actually work like it should? Is it not gonna suck in the wrong way? Is it gonna be Minecraft suck or real life suck? Because I like... Night vision is so interesting to talk about. You got like a lot of options to talk about with night vision. You got dual tubes, you got your thermal hybrid. Night vision is just awesome to talk about. It's a subject that you can spend hours researching and learning about. It's a good hobby too, but it's expensive. Would not recommend. Would not recommend becoming a night vision hobbyist. Unless you're insane. But even then, still, don't do it. It's not worth it. You have bridge mounts where you can mount 2 binoculars. Binoculars being a single tube that you put one eye through and it gives you an image in that eye. I think that's pretty obvious, but still, it's almost 8 p.m. I can almost be free to go to sleep and then actually sleep for once. And then I can get up at 4 a.m. in the morning to do another live stream or to finish this live stream out. Because we did just complete a goal technically. Technically that was a goal that I never stated, but I stated it a while ago and just haven't never actually been working on it. That's interesting. Interesting to consider. Ah. Ah. I need to charge my armor pieces, but I need to shut down my thing over there. I need to I need to sleep in real life. Okay, place this here, and then that should shut off this machine. So I can charge my armor successfully. I can do it. I can do it! Ah! We'll run those to depletion. We'll shut off this one. Conserve energy. We don't need to be wasting so much energy on a simple task. Oh yeah, we have 50 million HD anyways. Good enough. You see, John B. Goodenough created the lithium-ion battery. Or something. I couldn't tell you. Boom. Ugh. What the heck? What the heck? Ugh. Nice. Upgrade. We've achieved better than diamond armor. Because we don't like diamonds here. We like gold. I don't know that actually would... That's an expression, but it doesn't actually have any meaning. Because the words are valueless. Maybe they have value, but I cannot find it. You know, we really need to work on the roof. Scream, get off the roof at a party, and everybody will look at the roof. It will be the greatest joke of all time, and you will be the ultimate prankster. Nobody will see it coming. It's also get a builder jetpack. I mean, I could do that, but Do I really need to when I could just do this other thing that I just thought of on the spot? My friends, there is such thing as servos, which are going to be incredibly motors to make. Lots and lots of motors, but motors over mortars. It's easy to make motors, not mortars. We'll make plenty of motors. We just need iron and the capacity to make thousands of these, which I can do. All right, ready to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then also over here, begin counting these. I wonder what that loud sound was. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm counting by threes because I don't actually remember what I was counting by. So it's easier to count by threes because you divide this, you have 8, that makes 1. So this makes 2. Because we can see 16 divided by 2 makes the amount of motors that's going to produce, probably. Or the amount of crafts of motors. 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 8. Essentially, it matches this. You can see it matches. 8 times 3 is enough to wrap 3 iron bars and 8 wires. Now, if we go into here, we can go to coils and begin the coil part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have an equal part of those. Boom! Boom! Oh, not enough plates. Well, that's fine. We don't need that many plates. You see, all I needed was those amount of motors, because that, my friends, is the future of motor technology right there. You see that? This is getting us closer to servos, which make you faster. And they only require high-speed steel. They'll make you super high speed to have these servos. And they don't cost any energy. They just give you plus jump haste and whatever. These will make us the fastest of all time. Faster than Usain Bolt. So this is what we need. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then type in motors. Motors are beginning to be produced. Gold is a fun thing. I like gold. Do you like gold? Gold. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's enough. I don't actually know. I didn't even count correctly. Coils. No, I'm out of dash on me. I don't have dash in my hands, bro. I just don't got dash on my hands. A dash of dash. Dash is from Doctor Who. The dash motors of all time. Now we must make more. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wrap it. Coils. What the heck, dude? Coils. Go to here. Make coils. Do this. Motor? No. This one. Yes. Boom. Yeah. What? Severe issues. We have massive problems. I do not have dash ingots. Ran out of dash ingots. 44. Thank goodness. You see, that's foresight right there. Foresight to know what we're going to need 5 years from when we made it. If this is 5 years in the future. I don't think it's been 5 years. I don't think that amount of time has elapsed at this time. But maybe in 5 minutes I will think it has. It's a good question, but I don't have the answer. Okay, now we should have pretty much everything we need for the extra motors. It should be easy. Steel bolts. And if I check over here, we should have... Yeah, math. Doing it right now. Calculating. I'm not actually, because I don't really care about numbers. I care about results. Here we go. Boom. Boom. That's my new favorite quote now. I'm going to have to put that in my book of quotes. I don't care about numbers. I care about results. That's one I will use in the future. For something. At some point. But I'm not sure when. Because that really doesn't have many use cases. It's like if you get into an argument with somebody about results versus numbers. But it had to make sense. It have to be used sparingly, with the greatest caution. One, two, 1, 2. Perfect. Counting. Everybody loves to count. I now have my dash motors done. Because now, I will go from slow, tortoise speed, haste, jump boost, you know? To become God himself. Ready, set, do it. We are so fast now that our field of view will break the game. I actually cannot play like this anymore. At this time, we will have to lower it down from Quake Pro by approximately 30 degrees. This is now much more playable. A lot of people were like, oh yeah, how do you play with like your FOV so high? How do you play with your FOV so high? And now I'm going to answer the question. I no longer do, because back in those days, I don't know what I was on. I must have been on something though. Because that is in no way how you should be playing this game. Look at the difference. Okay, 90 to 100 billion. It's playable, I will admit, but it's like I'm jumping 60 feet in the air every time I jump. That won't cause nausea, trust me. Won't cause any kind of motion sickness at all. Oh goodness. Look at the haste right there. At least Steve Minecraft moves with the sense of purpose and urgency when mining his oil. We have to get this oil before the drone does. That's what's going on. The drone's on our side though. It moves the oil for us. But only heating oil. Because it'd be impractical for me to make 1 billion microchips to move and build another drone. We're not doing that. Drones are annoying and not worth it. Don't even bother with drones, okay guys? They're not worth it. My advice. Don't even bother with the ultimate weapon of all time. Drone warfare. It's not worth it. That'd be crazy for Airsoft. Imagine pulling up to an Airsoft event with DJI Mavic drone. Future of drones right there. Drone of all time. naphtha, heating oil, kerosene, and if we head over to here, you will see that right now we are currently processing all of our thorium into its component, transmuted products, so that way when we reprocess that will work and won't cause issues. And this guy here is currently being stupid and doing whatever he's doing. And then we can figure out how we're going to do that setup in a bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and figure out what I need to pack so I can be ready and do all that stuff. It's supposed to be... I cannot disclose that information right now. But I will need to pack, so I need to go do some packing so I can be ready for what I need to do. So I can go do it. Doesn't matter if I want to, if I feel like it. I've got to do it tonight, not tomorrow at breakfast. We cannot be last minute on such things. Because it just makes zero sense. Like, I mean, I've never been last minute on that. It's just, I could think about putting it off. Because, like, it's like 5 items. But at the same time, that's extra time between me and having breakfast. Which is the first goal of tomorrow. First thing that I'm going to be concerned with is getting breakfast. Nothing else. See, nothing else will matter in that time. See, if anything else decides to try to matter, I will stop it from mattering. Because that is my new plan to avoid, like, worrying too much about things that don't matter. That's the way to do it, is to remove things that cause you to worry. So, like, that is my plan. Remove phone, first step. Works perfectly. Reduce phone usage 100%, and then you will be perfectly fine. You'll never have any connection, but at the same time, reduces any potential for, like, extra worry or stress. So that will be greatly helpful. Also, unproductive though. Inversely productive, but simultaneously still cuts out an issue. What is this one gonna be? Hopefully it's something good. I have to walk quite a distance to it. How is it even in the chunks? Oh, I can't leave the chunks too far, so I mean... We're just looking for an impact site so I can go... No, don't. Because we're leaving the reactor running. It's gonna melt down. We're gonna literally have Chernobyl. Or something. Chernobyl. Nuclear reactor. We do not want this. Hello. Just gonna wait on whatever's going on with this stuff. Put it all together. Increase the rate of decay for these fuels. That should do. And I'm just gonna let it sit there for a little bit so that way I can come back and then we can start processing those. We need more kerosene probably. Yes, something either is stopping my kerosene or we do not have enough kerosene at this time. So we'll have to figure that out in a second. I could be doing something. Could be working on multiple things at the same time. This is going to be ultimate productivity if I can manage to pull it off. It's something that should be impossible, but in theory, could be possible. Oh, so we need auto crafters. It's a big thing. I have enough motors to do it. We can get started on those. To disassemble. In this version, is it necessary to use the Watts mud to produce CMD steel? I believe it's always been that way. I can find that information out for you. Watts reactor. Oh my gosh, look at this. Californium? Californium. I bet all the guns are banned because of Californium. Or something. If you put californium in your nuclear reactor, you will become a liberal. Politics. Political joke. It's the prank of all time right there. Gonna get 5 billion views with that one. I like to make some noise sometimes. It's pretty good. But at the same time, we need to focus on what matters right now, which is probably just... what is it? Yeah. I need vacuum tubes, right? Vacuum tubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9. How the heck do you count to 9 when you click 8 times? What the heck? What the heck, man? How? This is simple. You take this, and this, and this, and it goes together to make that. But then if you simultaneously go over to here, this is where all of the answers are. You take your steel, you go to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go to this, do 1 square, 2 squares, split it down, split it, break it down, boom. 2 automatic crafting tables. Run these to the setup here. I didn't answer your question, by the way. I don't know. I don't have the answer at this time. Well, I couldn't get the answer, but... mud. Is poisonous mud? Yes, it is. It's always been needed, right? Well... Can you even get them anymore? Oh, no. No, I remember how you get them. So you need solid mud brick, and the solid mud brick is going into here. So then you have your poisonous mud used to make your combine steel, aka CMB steel ingots. That is how you do it. So yes, the answer is yes. Yes, it is. Yes. Here, we will now need to figure out how to extract items. But don't worry, because I am an engineer. No, not in real life, not qualified. But I am the engineer of all time. And I can tell you, this is exactly how I will set this setup up. First, we will split. We'll use a grabber, set the whitelist. Whitelist items out of here. Use 1 depleted Zernox fuel rod. Boom. That will be whitelisted through there. Perfect. And it should be able to run into here. Or not. Okay, so that will do that. And then it will go into here. So if I set this up correctly and take the same fuel rod, this one, the depleted plutonium, it should now receive items. But it won't because I did it incorrectly. It's okay. Because you see, there is a way of doing it. It's not difficult. But it is hard to comprehend. Probably. That makes 0 sense. Okay. Well, on paper, what you do is you take a conveyor belt And then what you'll do with this conveyor belt is something absolutely diabolical that you'd never do in any other sense with a conveyor belt. It's like defeats the purpose of the word conveying. Because rather than conveying, this is literally going to stop the item dead in its tracks, right on the middle of the belt. This is like the opposite of what this is intended for. But this does work. And you know what that means. It's exploitable for what I'm trying to do. The task of all time. Because now, you see, this allows me to put this into here. Boom. What does that allow me to do? A lot of things. Actually, it allows me to put it into here. Which is even better. Well, what does that allow me to do? Again, it gives me the Xernox 233 rod. We can set it to whitelist, and then set it into here. And look, it collects them. Via some sort of dark magic, this collects those. Which makes a little bit of no sense at all. But now with these plutonium fuel rods, it's the exact same story. Quite literally, all I have to do is the exact same thing. So if I build up here, make a nice little pillar, do one of these, do this, shift it over, boom, you will see that we now need to put in this. Boom. And then do that. And then do this final step. The process is completed. All that matters now is that it does something. It might work. Getting it to do something is the hard part. Okay, now that does the job to some degree. We need to use conveyor ejectors to extract and redistribute both of those to where they need to go respectively. That's kind of bothersome, but it isn't impossible to do. It is a very possible task. I'd prefer to do that task than to do other tasks, so we will go ahead and do that one. And it works actually really well. Albeit it's a little bit, seems like it would not work, but it does work somehow. Oh, well that's the problem, is that it's doing this. I don't really want it to output that way, because I want it to output my way, which makes a lot of sense, but you will see that I have a way of doing this that will be simple. It will make a lot of sense now. I'll just put it in here by hand. Good. Ooh. Depleted thorium. Depleted deuterium-233. Now, this is what gets you to technetium, by the way, guys. You want technetium. This is what gets you to technetium. Technetum. Technetius steel. Just give it some time to do its stuff. And if it's doing it what I told it to, let's go check. No, what do I mean? Sleep damage, sleep deprivation, bro. Need to go to sleep. Need to sleep now. Need to sleep now, not later. Please. One of these days, I will have a perfect sleep schedule again. Sleep will be normal, but never again. What is this? Huh. This is the inserter for one of those. The question is, do we want them to alternate 233? You could technically route the 233 between the two, or the Xernox rods between 233 and regular plutonium fuel. You can do that. I'm not going to, because I think that'd be defeating the purpose of what I'm trying to get to. There's a lot of logic in this world and a lot of common sense. A lot of common sense required for this task. It would make no sense for me to try to keep the same amount of Xernox rods, but then route them to the opposite place of where they're supposed to go. Would make 0 sense to do. 0 sense. It's okay though. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be functional. If it doesn't make sense and it's functional, that's all that matters. But also, this is that's my 8 and this is my 233. My 233 goes there. So I think I did something a little bit backwards, but this should be fine for the time being. Okay, we should be able to work with this. So we're gonna start off. We're gonna go to here. Okay, that's gonna be how I'm gonna start it. And I'm just gonna go all the way over to here. Just go across to there, right? That makes a lot of sense. Oh, but it needs to go up a bit. Needs to go up. Okay, I got this. Yeah, this can also be raised. Why would I raise this? Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Do one of these and do that. Well, actually, don't do that because that's wrong. That's backwards from what I'm trying to do. I'm going to have to tear out all of this diorite because I'm stupid and did it wrong. Oh, crap. What the heck did I do there? 4 Xernox rods just fell on the floor. They could have gone anywhere, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Dude, man, what are you doing? Stuff. Projects. This bothers me. When this happens, okay, this is the happening of all time. You see this thing? It is deciding to be, oh, I do not want to play by your rules. Instead, I will play by this new rule set I've come up with. That is not in typical HBM mod experience. Ha 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 ha. Spitting in the face of everything I know and hold. True. Spitting in the face of logic and reason. This should work this way because it makes the most sense. Alright, and then this goes and routes into this, which is where all of the stuff will go for magic. There we go. And look, we had just enough of the stuff to do the things. Essentially now all I have to do is place in 4 of those. And what we should see is that a wonderful quantity of uranium-233 rods come back out of this machine, aka the same amount we just ran through the depletion process. And they just get popped right into the line. It's beautiful. That is exactly how that's intended to work. That, my friends, is true beauty right there. Nuclear automation at its finest. Now, the other one is going to be a little bit more complicated because we don't have rubber at this time. Either we make conveyor belts using iron or we don't. And I really want to use rubber because it's super cheap and very, very nice. Consumer-friendly rubber. Good for the environment. Takes plenty of oil. And automates the same process that you could do without using any oil. But also these are already running too. So like that's cool as well. Like it literally just consumed all of these, sent out the fuel rods, and then produced 4 more to replace the ones it just expended. That, my friends, is technology, engineering, and science, math, all at their finest. What needs to happen is we need to figure out what's causing us to not be making kerosene, aka aromatic hydrocarbons. Currently is stopping that process from happening and occurring as it should. Let's go ahead and check. If aromatic hydrocarbons is the problem, I will place down a barrel. No, still. Crude oil's fine. The bitumen? No, the industrial oil's clogged with petroleum gas. Holy Jesus. I hate petroleum gas when it's not doing what I want it to. PET, which could also mean... Wait, this water bottle says PET plastic. Oh, so like petroleum plastic? You've reduced the amount of petroleum plastic by 50% in your plastic water bottle? Sounds like you need to start using PVC, okay? Because we all want to be consuming polyvinyl monomer in our lives. I like polymers. I feel like it'd be great to consume what they're made of. Monomers. Everybody thinks plastic bag is made of a polymer. But then it's actually a lot more complex than that. Because cellulose is a polymer. Cellulose is a polymer. That's literally cotton. And nitrocellulose is cotton but nitrated. So it explodes because nitric acid makes anything 10 times more fun. Just add nitrate group, added stability. You will have a great recipe for joyous occasions. Or the 4th of July. Or something. But right now all I'm taking care of is stuff in real life at the same time. My box of inspectable goods. Goods that are going to pass every FDA inspection. Food and Drug Administration can inspect my items. It will pass every time because these are not food items. These are not food. These are important items. Things that are essential to day-to-day survival. Because you need 10,000 sheets of paper to survive. That's the answer. I don't know if I have that. This is what I do at the end of every day. Is I go through. Actually, I don't always do this. Sometimes I just say, I'm just going to go to bed. And then I wake up the next morning, go do all my stuff. And then you know what happens next? I go to get dressed. I'm like, oh, where's all my stuff? Oh, it's still in the pockets that I didn't empty out last night. It's joyous. I like that. It's a great way to do things. Sounds like it's not the greatest. 96 cents here. Ah! Organization, dude. My apologies for sitting here staring at a petroleum gas barrel. When what we really needed to be staring at is the Purex process. Currently out of kerosene. You will never have kerosene for 5 billion years. Hey, good news and good news only. We are on the way to victory. In that I mean, we will have soon enough our first pieces of something very valuable. Something called rubber, probably. Okay, so this will give me my rubber that I need, probably a bit more than that. We'll see if we need what we need for kerosene. It's probably clogged. Aromatic hydrocarbons or petroleum gas. What is your guess? I would say it's petroleum gas in the refinery. It's aromatic hydrocarbons. I love this. I love this game. Is it aromatic hydrocarbons or a counterpart for making bakelite? Which one? AK mags or asphalt? Wait, that's the same thing. Hold on. AK mags or something that you get from a refinery. I mean, in this, you get AK mags from the refinery. It's the whole thing. We must refine oil so we can make more Kalashnikov magazines. Okay, hurry up and start making kerosene. Because we're not going to make any more gasoline fettuccine jokes. Okay, we're not Italian enough for that anymore. Okay, why do we have so much petroleum gas in there? Oh, this guy's out of steam, isn't he? His bitumen's good, his crude oil is good. He just needs steam. Okay, there we go. It's cycling. Good. This is what we need. We need to cycle this so we can get rid of the heavy oil faster and produce more kerosene. I don't know how much is in there right now. It's all being eaten by the Purex machine. Because we need to continue the solvent extraction of our uranium products. Or in this case, thorium, actually. Here we go. 233. I love uranium-233. This is beautiful. It's fissile, so it's super useful if you want to do some really fun stuff. Good news is that I'm producing uranium-235, which is also fissile. In fact, I'm pretty sure neptunium is also fissile. There's a difference. Well, actually, they would all be fissile, but these are fissile, but you can use 15 pounds of them to do some, or 15 kilograms to do some interesting stuff. AKA critical mass. You need critical mass, some other fun stuff. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these outputs because they really are kind of obscure at this time. I actually don't have a usage for all of those, so we're just going to extract all of them. Because there's no way I'm going to turn uranium-235 into fuel as well. I mean, I could. I'm not going to say I'm not gonna. I'm definitely going to. Is Xernox able... Holy crap. I just realized neptunium's used in the PWR as well. What are we doing? Okay, anyway, the 235 is able to run inside of this. 235 runs at 85, so it's a little less than 233. Obviously, it would be a little less because 233 is made from thorium. It's got to be a little bit unstable since it's not supernaturally occurring. Not like it's made by ghosts, but like it's not like very common. If it's not common, that means it's probably some artificial right there, which makes it less stable. Then we have the Xernox uranium-235 rod. This will make depleted uranium-233. This goes into Silex, plutonium-238, RTGs, batteries, neptunium. It's great for PWRs. That'd be good for the PWR. And the technetium. So that's actually something I should do and invest in. Is neptunium used inside of this? I believe it is not, which is good because I don't want to be spending time making neptunium. No reactor grade plutonium. Please stop putting my reactor grade plutonium in the wrong spot. It goes in one spot and one spot only. Spot where it goes to farmers only. That's not how that goes. But it kind of rhymes, honestly. What is the numbers in these currently? We're standing at 2 in that, with 4 in the chamber, and then 4 in the chamber with 4 in here. It's perfect. We should be good to make rubber now. Let's see. I mean, we've gotten the big stuff I wanted to process out of the way. The problem, we need to check nitric acid production as well, because nitric acid is going to slow us down if we stop producing it. If I don't have nitric acid, we are going to have to go mine niter, which is going to take extra time that I don't need to spend later, potentially. But at the same time, we're still going to have to get it. We need to find bedrock ore. That's what we need to do. Since we have all of this nuclear power now, we should be spending that energy on something that gets us a little bit more output of mining. Basically, I'm saying, instead of mining by hand, I have energy. I need to use it for that. Mining without hands. Telling the machine to mine for us. So we do this. But that's not gonna happen this time. We will not be making machines mine for us. We will go ahead and check to see if and how much we have of rubber. 6 is a quantity high enough for me to be capable of producing what I'm looking for. $64 conveyor belts. It's a good number. This is cheap. I like 64 conveyor belts. This is less than spending 4 iron or 8 iron or some stupid number of iron that you don't need to spend. So that's why you should make these this way. Keywords on should, because it's like the best way to do it. If you're making the money another way, you're making a mistake. You're making mistakes at that point in time. Okay, so we're gonna take another conveyor belt. We're gonna route this to the actual endpoint, or we're just gonna route it to there and figure it out from there. Do it like that. Do it like this. No. There, yes, boom. And it looks perfect. Okay, so now with the 6 of these that I have, for some reason I only have 6. Put these in the conveyor ejector. Yes, 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 go do your thing. Send my Xernox rods to the machine. Turn off this nuclear reactor if it's on. Anyway, that will maintain the amount, and then look, it's sending back 6. No, that's 5 plutonium rods. Ooh, just perfect. The routing is so amazing in this thing, and it all works because everything just goes back to where it starts. So it loops my Xernox rods, so I don't have to worry about them ever being separated from their starting line. They're always going to be on the same loop. It's a Xernox rod loop method. You could do it other ways, but this is my method of the madness, is to split them out of the crafting. It makes the most sense that way. Spend 5 years doing redstone, or have your base look like spaghetti. Either way, it's gonna look like a mess. So like, there's no reason in not doing it this way. All I need to finish right? All I need to finish is just one of these pneumatic pistons, and we have completed the power plant. Well, we've completed the power plant to be able to do half of what I want, but the other half can still be assembled and set into processing. So we'll do that in the next one when I go to be like, oh, well, we could do 235 through the thing, right? We could do 235, okay? 235 isn't a bad option, right? It's a nuclear fuel, okay? It's a good option. We could do it. That's what I'll be like. I will be saying those exact words. Exactly those words. And I will be saying them. Like, oh yeah, we could actually do it. It's perfect. I don't have any actual rats. I'm just gonna write down one thing. Zernox rods 235. That's where we're gonna end today's stream. And I will see you all in the next one. It's been too long. 2 hours? Too much time. I have to